Hello, everyone in TV land. This is Senior Issues, etc. I'm your host, Vita Burton. It's me, and spring is in the air. Ooh, I'm happy about this. This has been a rough winter. Now, you know, after all these years, we've become good friends, and you know, I hear you when you ask. I've gotten several emails, and I've met some people in the grocery store and on the street, and they ask for the subject matter today. And the subject matter today is AARP, which has a host of programs. We're not going to go into all of them. What we're focusing on is their safety driving school. And I have a volunteer, it's on the volunteer basis that we have the instructor from the AARP driving school. And we're excited about that because there's a lot of benefits to it. So I want you to go and get your coffee, your soda pop, whatever, I don't know. Some shows, some of you see the show in the morning, some of you see it in the afternoon. Sit down, relax, have a paper and pencil, and I want you to hear what he has to say because he is an enthusiastic instructor. From my talking to him, I could tell that if you're going to have somebody teach you, he's the one to teach you. And he's going to tell us. His name is Jerry Schwartz. I want you to give him a nice warm welcome.
Well, thank you.
Nice to have you here on the show today. Now, the routine here is, before we get started with anything, my friends out there, the audience out there in TV land, like to know a little bit about the person. So you can tell us as much as you want, as little as you want, but why don't you look right into that camera there and tell us a little bit about yourself, okay?
My name is Jerry Schwartz. I was born and grew up in Chicago on the north side. Nothing too eventful happened, but I did go to Northwestern University and had a career in banking and finance. And after retirement, I had time on my hands and was looking for something to do. And I happen to be a driver. I love driving. And I've been a member of AARP since I'm 50. And through some literature or emails, I've discovered they were looking for instructors for their driver training course. So I applied and was interviewed and trained and certified. And for the past 2 years, I've been an instructor for the AARP Safe Driver course. Now it's called the Smart Driver course. It gets revised every couple years.
Oh, I know, because I've been through it more than once. Well, I think that I'm sure that the majority of the viewers who are watching us right now are familiar with AARP.
I would think so.
That is an organization, and you just happen to be in the safety driving portion of it.
The driver course at AARP is one of many programs, as you just said, and this program started in 1969. They've given the course, or AARP has presented the course all over the country and Puerto Rico and some other locations to about 15 million seniors. It's open to people of any age. They don't have to be a senior, and they don't have to be a member of AARP, but it focuses on drivers 50 years old and older.
Now, it's so many hours you have to take, isn't it?
Yes, this course is given in 4 hours, 6 hours, or 8 hours, but in Illinois, it's a requirement that it be 8 hours.
8 hours.
And typically, we do it in 2 days. 4 hours one day, 4 hours the following day, or 4 hours one Saturday morning and 4 hours the next Saturday. But in a short period of time, we give the course 2 4-hour sessions in Illinois.
Now, did you ever do any teaching before this?
No, never.
And so, was this intimidating, like, to start it?
Not really. It was easy. I enjoy what I do. I have an enthusiasm, and I think this program is really important and beneficial to seniors. The theme of the course now, the Smart Driver course, is change. Everything's always changing. But as far as driving goes, 3 things basically are changing and have changed. The cars we drive have changed drastically. The roads we drive on and the environment we drive, the amount of traffic has changed since we got our license many years ago. I've been driving for about 60 years. And the final thing that's changed is us, our bodies. We don't have the body of a 20-year-old anymore. We tend to take more medications. We have medical problems, issues. And so the course lets us understand and compensate for these changes that have come about since we're young when we got our driver's license.
Well, can we like construct on the first 4 hours, it's 2 4-hour days that you're talking about. So exactly what is the subject matter that you cover in the first 4-hour day?
It's broken down into 6 units in the 4 hours, about 3 the first day and 3 the second. There's an introduction, and then there's what knowledge they have about road signs and driver situations. And then we have a discussion at the beginning of what has changed, and it's really interesting. We go around the class, and these classes are from 5 to 25 or 30 people on what's changed on these 3 areas. And people come up with cute things of what's different from when they started driving. Like there wasn't so many paved roads. They used to drive on gravel, and they didn't have the lane markers, and the lanes were narrow. And then we get into cars, what's changed. They said we had a radio, but no air conditioning, no power windows, no power anything. And that list goes on and on and on.
A stick shift, that's what I started on.
No automatic transmission.
No automatic.
No tinted windows, and then the information systems and the entertainment systems and the power everything on the car. And the list goes on and on. In fact, during the 8 hours, people keep raising their hands and say, there's something else I remembered that changed on my car that we have now that we didn't have when I started driving. And then we get into medical conditions, drugs, prescription drugs, and over-the-counter drugs, and their effect on us as drivers, and how we can't tolerate alcohol as when we were younger, and how these things might mix badly in our bodies. So it's an awareness and how to cope with changes in our body and medical conditions and how it affects our driving. We're not as mobile. Our necks aren't as mobile. We don't have the strength in our legs and arms that we used to. We need mobility. So exercising and being in good health is good for 2 reasons, from the standpoint of general health and from the standpoint of being a good driver. We have to look left and right when we get to an intersection. We need mobility, and that helps.
I know you were saying about the neck, and that's one thing I noticed in aging. Like I used to be able to almost swing my neck all the way back, you know, but with the aging process, and I try to be more careful when I'm driving if I come up to, I'm coming out of like a shopping center.
Sure.
In the oncoming traffic.
Absolutely. In fact, around here we have an angle street, Milwaukee Avenue.
Yes.
And when you get to a corner, you don't have to just look left. You have to look far left over your left shoulder, and it's hard for us to do anymore. So we end up turning our whole torso around instead of just our neck because we don't have the mobility that we did when we were younger.
So now that's the first 4-hour day.
There's even more than that. We get into, I just drew a blank for a minute, what comes next. But we have to share the road with other drivers. That's another subject. Emergency vehicles, buses, trucks, motorcycles, bicycles, pedestrians.
The amount of traffic.
We have a section on that. And then there's a very, very important section that people don't think about. What happens when the time comes when we're not able to drive anymore? Do we recognize it? Do we just stop driving, or do we compensate? Compensating might mean we won't drive at night because we have cataracts or other eye problems and we're not comfortable driving at night. Or we won't drive on expressways. Or we won't make left turns at busy intersections because we're not confident like we used to be.
Or distance driving. We won't drive long distances, can't tolerate long distance driving.
It brings up a point about driver safety with seniors. Seniors have fewer accidents than younger people.
Really?
Really.
I did not know that.
Yes, but I didn't finish.
Okay.
There's a caveat. We drive less miles than younger people. So there are fewer accidents with seniors, but based on miles driven, we have more accidents because a typical senior now might drive 3, 4, 5, 6,000 miles a year. When we were younger, we might drive 20, 25,000 miles a year in a car. So we have fewer accidents, and there's another big important feature. We get hurt and killed as seniors more in accidents than younger people. A younger person might get in an accident, have a few broken ribs and a broken arm, and we might not survive it or have much more serious injuries because our bodies are more frail. So we have fewer accidents, but more per mile, and our fatality rate is higher, especially after age 70, because we're not strong enough to survive accidents.
So we have to work at it to keep our attention up and our safety record up.
Which gets back to this course.
Right.
We've driven a long time. I've been driving over 60 years, and we have a lot of experience, which is good. But we have to understand and compensate for these other issues we've talked about, the medications we're taking.
Right. And that leads me into, we're going to get back to that, but now we're going to go into Vita's Pearls of Wisdom. And just to pick up on what Jerry was just saying, is not too long ago I had a nutritionist on, and I've gotten several emails on this, on supplements, on the supplements, and I want to be real clear about this because I talked to the nutritionist and she's gotten some questions on it too. And any supplement that you're taking, this should be reported to your primary doctor. If you have, I know as we age, like for me, myself, I have 11 different doctors. I don't use all these doctors all the time, but on my list of listing doctors, I have 11 different categories. Now, any supplement that you take should be included in with the medications that you take so your doctor knows, because just because you buy it over the counter, it doesn't mean that it's not interacting with your medication. And something over the counter could be work in an opposite direction than what your medication is calling for. So to be on the safe side, as a guideline, please report everything to the doctor. Also, I know I mention this all the time, but it's an important issue. On any medication, what it indicates is how it should be taken. Some should be taken at a certain hour. Some need to be taken with food. Some need to be taken just without anything. So we have to pay attention to that. And if you take your medication out of the bottle, on any bottle of medication, in the corner of the bottle, I just learned this from the pharmacist not too long ago, it will tell the color of the pill, and then generally on every pill there is a number. So if you take it out of the bottle and then you say, oh, now what is this medication? What bottle did it come from? You could always go and check, because it will give a description of what the medication is. Now, you know, any ideas that you have, I try to pay attention to all of them, and I try to keep myself up to date. Go into the website, you know, and check out all the old shows. That Senior Issues, etc., is etc.org. That is our show's website, okay? Now, my email address is small casing, Vita Verden, VITA, VERDEN, @netzero.net. And if you just want to talk to me on the phone, feel free to. My telephone number is area code 847-573-1233. And you know, from the bottom of our heart, for myself, and I speak for all the crew, we appreciate that you tune in and watch us, and we've tried to bring you whatever you're asking for, the latest in information, because you know what our goal is. We want to live forever, or as long as we possibly can. So we have to work at it, and we have to pay attention to all areas of our life. That's what I'm bringing this show to you today, because this is important, what this instructor, driving instructor Jerry, is telling us. He's giving out good information that we all need. So stay up and pay attention. Let's get back to him. Now, getting back to what we're talking about, we've gone through the first 4-hour day. Now, in the second 4-hour day, now, is there testing that's involved?
No, we don't call it testing. We do give, there are some pages in the workbook we use that checks the knowledge they have from the information we're getting or giving them, and no one grades it or tests it, but it's for themselves more than anything. In fact, there are 2 of these informational pieces of information that we don't even discuss because they're personal. It might ask certain questions to indicate if you might have a hearing or a sight problem, and it's not for everyone, it's personal. But if they answer yes to so many questions, they should have their eye checked or their ears checked. And in this course, we pick up a lot of tips and hints. We're older and experienced drivers, and for many, this course is just a refresher. But we need refreshers once in a while. And we do try to give them tips and hints that they could incorporate into their everyday driving that could let them drive longer and safer and more confidently. I'll give you some examples, but you wanted to say something.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is it was some time ago when I took one of the first courses I took from the AARP is to learn how to have my mirrors adjusted right. I had the mirrors in my car, they were set at an angle where when I looked at them, you know what I saw? I didn't see the cars behind me. I saw the side of my car. Dumb. You know, do you think I realized that was dumb? I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And like Jerry said, it opened up a whole new world for me when the instructor instructed us how to angle the mirrors that you see the oncoming cars.
Well, cars, every vehicle has a blind spot. Even with the mirrors, there might be a car to your rear left or your rear right that you don't see in the mirrors. So if you're changing lanes, you must look over your shoulder. But there's a way to set the side view mirrors to reduce or minimize the blind spot alongside and the back of your car. We can't eliminate it, but we could reduce it. You're going to have to come to the course to see how we adjust them. We don't have time to do it now. But there's a few other tips we give them also.
Oh, well, one of the benefits I'd like you to talk about is about what they get the discount on their automobile insurance.
Good point. There is a cost for taking this course.
Yes.
If you're a member of AARP, the cost for the course is $15. If you're not a member, and some non-members take it too, it's not restricted, it's $20. But you do get a discount on your car insurance on part of your automobile coverage, the liability portion, not the entire bill, by taking the course. We give them a certificate, and if they provide the certificate to their insurance company, they'll get a discount, and it varies. I can't give you an exact amount or formula, but it varies by company and by individual coverage. But invariably, it's more than they paid for the course, and it's good for 3 years. So many people we see take the course every 3 years to maintain their discount on their car insurance.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. And you enjoy it?
I do very much.
You enjoy it? You're a driver.
I love driving, and I feel that this course has a tremendous value and benefit to the people taking it. I get the benefit. Like you discovered your mirrors weren't set right. I find things out by giving the course, and it makes me a better, more confident driver, and I like to share that with other people. There is one caveat to the insurance discount. The only time you would not get it if you had a bad driving record, many tickets or accidents, you're not guaranteed to get the discount. But other than that, in Illinois, you will get a discount by taking this course.
And the course is, you just have to contact AARP, right?
Yes.
Which we have a number up on the screen.
A number or a website, and they could find out where it's given closest to them and when.
Because it's given in every area.
Yes, but there's a schedule. It's not given every day. It might be once a month, once a quarter, but there should be one given, a course near someone's house a few times a year.
I know what you were saying now. The particular place where you give the course happens to be Libertyville, and it's at the senior center.
Correct.
And you call the places where the course is given the host.
Sure. If you know where it's given, you could call them up and they'll give you the schedule on when it's offered. If you don't know, then get in touch with AARP nationally at the headquarters in Washington, D.C., and they'll guide you to the closest course given.
Now, I know that you've been doing this for a while and you're still getting enjoyment. What kind of gratification do you get back out of it?
What kind of verification?
Gratification.
Oh, it's hard to answer. I just feel good about it. I think that when you do volunteer work, as you do, you get more than you give, and it's like giving a gift. The person getting the gift enjoys getting a gift. The person giving it enjoys giving something that someone else will enjoy. In this case, it's value, and I think I get pleasure out of people getting value out of the course.
Now, when I started the show, it was back in 2000. It was September of 2000. And at that time, seniors were not considered to be in the main block. I know that you have had some figures here of how many seniors there are today in today's world since the baby boom.
There's about 30 or 35 million people over 60 in this country, and we have 325 million. That's over 15% of our population is over 60, and it's growing with all the baby boomers, about 1,000 a day becoming 60 now.
And you know, with all the advances in medicine and with technology, what it has done is expanded our lifespan. Myself, as a senior, what I have found is I'm a role model, and I keep looking, and I'm very interested in history, so I find certain individuals, but not such a large segment, because we're the first generation that's lived this long. So being the first generation that's lived this long, that what we have to do is we have to find out, well, how do we do it and still stay in kind of the top shape that we can still do things that we did at a younger age. And I think that it's probably even intimidating for a person when they're concerned about their driving to even enroll in the course, because they may be intimidated, like, what is this going to do?
I hope that's not an issue. I applaud people that take the course because it shows their interest in trying to stay current on cars, on their bodies, on the roads, and it's a refresher, but it's always some new information. We talked about a few tips that they could take home and use and incorporate in their everyday driving. One is setting the side view mirrors. Another one is the proper following distance.
Oh, yes.
I'm not going to give it now, but you have to come to the course to get that too. But there's a simple procedure to establish a safe and proper following distance that's easy to do, and they should do it. Another example, if people are fearful of making left turns on busy intersections, and some of them are pretty intimidating, the tip is don't make the left turn. Go straight one block, make a right turn, make a second right and a third right, and you'll be going exactly the same direction as the left turn that you didn't make. But these are the kinds of things you could pick up in the course that'll just help you drive longer and better and safer.
And I know, like, you don't call them tests. What do you call them that you give out?
I don't know, a knowledge, quiz, whatever. Okay,
so when you give them out to people, it isn't directed for them to pass their driving test.
No. Thank you for that. This is not a course that's designed with the Secretary of State of Illinois.
Right.
And it's not intended to help you prepare for your driver's license or renewal, although we do incorporate, and the people attending the course get a copy of the Illinois Rules of the Road for the current year, and we refer to certain sections like school buses, how to drive around them in emergency vehicles, and many others, but it's not a course designed to pass your driver's test.
But it's a course to help you sustain and gain any new changes or knowledge.
Sure.
That is available to us to stay current.
Change is the theme of the course. Things change. By taking the course, you could keep up with changes and accommodate them. And then it's understanding when it's time to limit or give up driving, which is one of the sections of the course. That's very important also, because driving is our independence for you and for me and for all the people taking this course. If you can't drive, you lose a lot of independence.
This is a hard thing.
It is very hard.
Because I think it's on an individual basis, because you can't put like an age like, okay, you can drive like till you're 80, because we all have different things at different.
Some people are old at 55 and some are young at 85.
Right.
So it's not the same age for everybody, but it's good to be objective and recognize. It's hard to be objective and recognize when you have to limit your driving. And we don't just say you might reach a point where you can't drive. We try to introduce them to ways to get around without a car. And it's not impossible. Some people have given up driving and some never drove, and they seem to get around fine. They learn the bus routes, they learn all the local options and benefits, and there is life after driving.
I know somebody I know he always says that his mother always bragged that she had a perfect driving record, and she had a perfect driving record because she never drove. You know, and so we have to take all those things into consideration. But I think, like you said, this course is open to not only seniors, but it's open to all ages.
Sometimes children come with their parents or a caregiver or a relative that are younger, and it helps them too. It's a good course.
So it isn't just like one age level. What it is it's an awareness. And like you say, the latest curriculum is called Change.
The theme has changed, but the course is called the Smart Driver course.
Oh, the Smart Driver course.
And we also incorporate besides listening to me for 8 hours, we have terrific videos. And the course and the videos were designed in conjunction with several driving organizations, insurance companies, the National Highway Safety Institute, and the Division of Driving in Maryland, and MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Division of Aging. So this is a very scientific-based course, and it's terrific. It's just a great course to take.
Well, this is a lot of information for us to take in, and it's something that we all need. And perhaps you'll come periodically and give us the updates on what we need, because we certainly appreciate all the valid information that you have brought to us. And you out there, you sitting on the couch, you need this course. So get on the ball, get on the phone, and get yourself signed up. And you know what time it is now? When you come to the end of your rope, you tie a knot and you hang on real tight, because the best is yet to come. And what we want you all to do this week is catch the spirit.